Okay, Bhakti Sufi tradition, changes in religious belief and devotional text. Now we've done the ancient time. The only thing that I have to start with is Buddhism and Jainism. Buddhism, Jainism are two ancient things. In the old and ancient things, we've already said what were the three gods we had. Three basic gods. Indra, no, not Vishnu is the present day god. Indra, Varuna, Agni, all the hymns that you say, जो ऋग्वेद में दिए हुए हैं, वो सब किसके हैं? इंद्र, अग्नि, वायु, सोम, ये सब. But we start with the coming of the new things. The subcontinent was dotted with a variety of religious structures, stupas, monasteries, and temples. Stupas किसके थे? Buddhist. So we see, अगर देखो स्तूपा का हाल खत्म हो गया, that means people stopped worshipping. Something would have changed. We don't know what. That they were initially not able to discover and everything. So what we're trying to do is now discover in medieval century what was the religion like. What happened? What were the changes? In earlier times, we came to know there are 4 varnas. What is that? Brahmins. Brahmins say that we are the top. Why do they say we are the topmost? They asserted it to 3 ways. What 3 ways? First, कैसे बता दिया? Kings की support ले ली. Second, क्या किया? महाभारत से उठा लिया. Third, बोला कि ये तो text में लिखा हुआ है. Is it clear? No, text में लिखा हुआ है. That's where we are taking it. So they were able to do it like that. That is the basic religion at that time. Is it clear or not? Now, if I continue with this thing, there is new textual sources available from this period, including compositions attributed to poet saints. Composition attributed to poet saints. Most of whom expressed, most of them who expressed themselves orally in regional language used by ordinary people. These compositions, which were often set in music, were compiled by disciples or devotees, generally after the death of the poet and saint. Similarly, बुद्धा की 3 बुक्स लिखी, त्रिपिटका, सब लिखी गई उसकी डेथ के बाद. Buddha's theory was very simple. तुम्हें कोई गुरु नहीं चाहिए सैल्वेशन के लिए, पर उसमें भी चेंज आ गया. Hinayana आ गया, where they are worshipping the statue of Buddha and doing it that they are worshipping Buddha to get salvation. But he had spoken very specifically, to attain salvation you will have to attain it by yourself. तुम्हें कोई और नहीं दिखा सकता, because he attained salvation by himself. वो भी गया पंकज की तरह, कहता यार बहुत दुख है दुनिया में, मैं salvation चाहता हूँ. तो किसी सिद्धार्थ जैसे संत महात्मा ने बता दिया, यार देख खाना खुना छोड़ दे, बैठ जा तपस्या करने. वो बैठ गया, पंकज बन गया वापस हिमांशु. कहता यार ये तो फायदा ही कुछ नहीं हुआ ना, मेरे को भगवान मिले, खाना भी छोड़ दिया. Then he started becoming meditating, and one day when he got this entire basic knowledge that this is the life. Is it clear? सिर्फ आदमी 2 टाइम पे कर सकता है ऐसा. कब? सैल्वेशन की बात कब कर सकते हैं? रियलिटी. या तो बहुत अमीर हो या बहुत ही गरीब. दूसरा बीच वाला तो कभी नहीं कर सकता, उसको टेंशन ही लगी रहेगी. Clear or not? So that's the 2 ways of going about it. Or you have to give up everything. So that's what he said. That's his Buddha spirit. अब क्या है कि ये जो भक्ति सेंट्स आए, इनके जो वो थे डिसाइपल्स, उन्होंने उसके बारे में लिखा. जैसे जैसे हमारा दोस्त है इधर पंकज, ये हेगियोग्राफीज लिख रहा है. हेगियोग्राफीज क्या है? लाइफ ऑफ गुरु. इसने बनाई है हेगियोग्राफी. धन धन गुरु तेरा ही आसरा, बाबा राम रहीम की जय. ठीक है, that's what he's done. Hagiography is life of gurus. So do we believe all the hagiographies? Because they are presenting their guru as something huge. जैसे ने बोला सुबह उठा तो बाबा जी आलू में दिखे, बाबा जी आलू में दिखे. नहीं सीरियसली, मैं एक स्टोरी देख रहा था, किसी ने बोला बाबा जी आप आलू में दिखे. Clear or not? So this is what, can we believe all that? No. So there's just contextual evidence which we believe, which is supposed to be true. Rest of it we do not believe. Now we come to a mosaic of religious beliefs and practices. Perhaps the most striking feature of this phase is increasing visibility of wide range of gods and goddesses. अब जो नई टाइम पीरियड आया 800s में, तो क्या चेंज आ गया? नई एक्सेसिबिलिटी आई गॉड्स की. अभी तक हमने कौन से पढ़े हैं? इंद्र, ये सब, अग्नि, वायु. अब 800 ऑनवर्ड्स नए गॉड्स अपेयर हुए, और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट कौन अपेयर हुए? गॉडेसेस. Because you want to make the religion also applicable to women. Did Buddha, okay, another very interesting question. Did Buddha want women to join the religious thing? No. He was pushed by his disciple Ananda to get women as a part of the monasteries. So, per up interesting kya aaya? Gods and goddesses. At one level, this indicates a continued and even extended worship of the major deities, Vishnu, Shiva, and the goddess, each of him are visualized in variety of forms. अब इसको रॉबर्ट रेडमनी ने बोला ग्रेट एंड लिटिल ट्रेडिशन. लाइक से फॉर एग्जांपल, इन पंजाब वी डोंट सेलिब्रेट दिवाली. दिवाली के दिन क्या सेलिब्रेट करते हैं? बंदी छोड़ दिवस. सो वो क्या हो गया? लिटिल ट्रेडिशन. पंजाब का अलग हो गया, दिवाली उधर का कुछ और हो गया. है तो एक ही दिन, but one becomes a great tradition, one becomes a little tradition. Holi celebrated different ways in different parts of India. लठमार होली है मथुरा, वो फूलों वाली होली है, फूलों वाली है थी सो वृंदावन. So there is Holi is different, but पंजाब में क्या हो गया? होला मोहल्ला, होला मोहल्ला. So it's great tradition and little tradition. है तो एक ही दिन, but it is viewed in different ways. Similarly, great and little tradition. How do we see Vishnu's avatar in North India? Sitting on a serpent. Sitting on a serpent, na? Or sleeping inside a serpent. Is it clear? But in Odisha, this is the Jagannath Puri. We refer to it as in a simple tribal form, a wooden statue. This is Jagannath Puri, the form of Vishnu that we profess. So it is altogether different. Clear or not? That is what we say, mixing of great tradition and little tradition. So you allowed the other traditions to come through. Who gave this term, by the way? Robert Redfield. Is it clear or not? Integration of cults. Historians have tried to understand these developments, suggest that इससे पहले भी integration हुई, जो आपको आएगा नहीं. Let me explain it. इंडस वैली किसको मानते थे? मदर गॉडेस. ये तो पता है ना? Is it clear? Animals के बहुत statues हैं. जब when we say people from outside came, they started professing God in form of human beings. Yes or no? जो हम बोलते हैं Aryans या the fighters, they used to profess God in human beings. So now there's an integration of cult here also. Show me one God without any animal figure or any natural figure. Shivji has snake around it. One animal figure to let those people accept God, and for one, it is the human figure of God. Brahma is having lotus. Ab bata. Nature is there everywhere. Show me one God without nature. Bata. You get my idea or not? So that is where the integration has to come, because you have to create a God which could appeal to somebody. Like this is the nature is appealing to the people who believed in nature. The human form is appealing to the people who believe in human form. So you're integrating the cults. That is what we say. Is it clear or not? So practices को इकट्ठा कर दिया, एक चीज में लेकर आ गए. There's a process of disseminating Brahmical ideas. This is exemplified by composition of compilations of Puranic text in simple Sanskrit verses explicitly meant to the accessible to women and. हमने पढ़ा था एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री में क्या था, जब हम कोई मंत्र करते हैं, मंत्र कौन उच्चारण कर सकता है? सिर्फ ब्राह्मण्स. और क्षत्रिय बोल सकता है, पर पढ़ा कौन सकता है? ब्राह्मण्स. पर अब चेंज हो गया. So even any religious composition can now be spoken by both women and children. Is it clear? Because now everybody, why did this come into existence? Very simple. Because everybody is now going towards Buddhism and Jainism. Is it clear or not? So you need to get people back into the service who were generally excluded from Vedic learning. At the same time, there was a second process at work. First is, आपने क्या किया? अब जो basic religious scriptures हैं कौन पढ़ सकता है? Both Shudras and women. So you're getting more people to come through. That of the Brahmins accepting and reworking the beliefs and practices, these and other social categories. Brahmins also have to accept. Why Brahmins have to accept? Because there's nobody following the religion. In fact, many beliefs and practices were shaped through a continuous dialogue between what socialists have described as the great and little traditions. One of the most, as I've told you, the Lord Vishnu ki avatar, it's formed in two different ways. North India mein different hai, Jagannath Puri mein different. And the most important thing is now the coming of the worship of the goddesses. The local deities were often incorporated within Puranic framework by providing them with an identity. Wife of. Like say for example, Lakshmi, wife of Vishnu. Parvati, wife of. So the goddess practices started, but as wives. Now we come to difference and conflict. पहले और अब में क्या फर्क आया? Tantric practices आई. Tantric practices refers to अब tantric जितनी भी आपकी sacrifices होती हैं, god पे होती हैं, goddesses पे होती हैं, goddesses. So there was new practice which came through tantric practices. Here we talk about sacrifice. All sacrifices are happening to goddesses. क्या हुआ? So all sacrifices are happening to goddesses. अभी देखो present day time में भी यही चल रहा है. So start कहाँ से हुआ? Medieval area. उससे पहले तो कभी देखा ही नहीं goddess पे sacrifice होती हुई. Clear or not? Were open to both men and women. Many of these ideas have been influenced Shaivism as well as Buddhism, especially in the eastern, northeastern, southern part of the continent. ये सबसे important है. Goddesses सबसे ज़्यादा कहाँ पे? Eastern, northern and southern part of India. Is it clear? Durga Mata, eastern. Absolutely. All of this somewhat divergent, even disparate beliefs and practices will be classified as Hindu over the course of the next million. There are different practices, but they're all under one framework that we say. Some people don't like sacrifices, some people do sacrifices. Even in Hinduism. But all are coined as one. That is what he says. The divergence is perhaps more stark if we compare Vedic and Puranic traditions. वैदिक के पैंथियंस क्या होते हैं? गॉड्स. वैदिक गॉड्स कौन से थे? अग्नि, इंद्र, सोम. अब कोई अग्नि, इंद्र, सोम को पूछता ही नहीं है. किसको पूछा जाता है? विष्णु, शिवा एंड गॉडेसेस इन वैदिक, जहां पे उनका नाम तक नहीं था वैदिक मंत्र. अब दे बिकेम नाउ. पुरानिक में कौन आ गए? वैदिक में कौन थे गॉड्स? अग्नि, अग्नि, इंद्र. अगेन एज आई सेड वेरी क्लियरली, all signifies nature. Right now, the gods are coming as which ones? Vishnu. इनका तो नाम नहीं है. Is it clear? And while we can catch a glimpse of Vishnu Shiva in this, they have little in common with elaborate Puranic mythologies. However, in spite of these obvious discrepancies, the Vedas continued to be revered as. सबसे important अभी भी पर क्या जाता है? Vedas. Not surprisingly, there were sometimes conflicts as well as the two. Those who valued the Vedic tradition often condemned practices that beyond closely regulated contact with divine through the performance sacrifices or precisely chanted mantras. On the other hand, those engaged in tantric practices. So conflict kahan pe tha? Tantric. Similarly, now who is the Bhakti movement going to have the maximum problem with? Buddhism. And because they're getting state patronage. State patronage का मतलब क्या है? पूरा का पूरा जो किंग है सपोर्ट किसको कर रहा है? बुद्धिज्म को, या अब वो हट गया. Is that started clear? The traditions of devotion or bhakti needed to be located with this context. Devotional worship had a long history of almost 1,000 years before the period we are considering. During this time, expression of devotion ranged from routine worship of deities within temples to ecstatic adoration, where devotees attained a trance-like state. हमने seen the Hare Krishna, वो कौन सी मूवमेंट है? हरे कृष्णा नहीं, इस्कॉन. So यही आपको दिखेगा नॉर्थ इंडिया में. ये तो भक्ति वाले दिखेगा नहीं. So in that case, when they are dancing in the name of God, they are dancing. Is it clear or not? So that is what we say a trance-like state. अब इसको कॉपी करेगा आगे सूफीज. सूफीज nowhere found elsewhere in the world. कहाँ पे फाइंड किया गया है? सिर्फ और सिर्फ इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में. आपको सूफी सऊदी अरेबिया नहीं दिखेगा. वहां पे तो कहा गया कि गाना नहीं गा सकते. अब पाकिस्तान इज अ वेरी कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग हिस्ट्री. They pray to the Sufis, but at the same time, they're going to a Sharia law. But Sufis were okay with singing. So there was a very interesting article I was reading related to Maharaja Ranjit Singh statue. So they desecrated the statue twice in Lahore Fort. Now it has been put in, which is the Gurdwara that we have, Nankana Sahib. They put it there now. जो वहाँ पे एजुकेटेड लोग हैं वो ये बोल रहे हैं कि जिसका आप डेसेक्रेट कर रहे हो इसने तो आपको अफगानियों से बचाया. So when this people in Pakistan were under this, so Afghanis came, they plundered everything. It was only under Maharaja Ranjit Singh they stopped. तो जो ये पाकिस्तान अभी बचा हुआ है, जो वहाँ के locals बचे हुए हैं, वो इसी के लिए बचे हुए हैं because it was Maharaja Ranjit Singh and never he broke away any mosque or anything. He ulta constructed mosques. पर गेस करो ये तोड़ कौन रहा है? मेजॉरिटी लोग जो यूपी से गए पाकिस्तान में, जिन्होंने पाकिस्तान को इस्लामिक रिपब्लिक बना दिया. सो पाकिस्तान हैज दीस टू कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स. और सबसे ज्यादा जो कट्टर लोग थे वो कहाँ से गए? यूपी से. बिकॉज उनको तो इन्फ्लुएंस ही नहीं पता लगा. जो वहां पे पंजाबी स्पीकिंग पीपल है वो बोलते हैं रखो, यहाँ से यूपी वाले गए हुए हैं उनको पंजाबी तो आती नहीं है, वो उर्दू उर्दू करी जाते हैं. उर्दू लैंग्वेज कहाँ से स्टार्ट हुई है? इंडिया में कहाँ से स्टार्ट हुई है? सोच के यू विल बी लाइक हाउ कम फ्रॉम देयर. मथुरा. UP started from Urdu started from Mathura, and this sect of people which went there, they were able to influence the language of Pakistan. Punjab, majority of the people they speak Punjabi, but it's not official language. It's Urdu. But that is what the influences happened. Like, and all these people who are these Khattar ones are the actually ones from UP have gone there. So they have lost their own identity. Ab they don't know किसको गजनी को बोलते हैं. अच्छा, गजनवी ने तो बैंड बजा दी थी इनकी. अब ये बोलते हैं दुरानी was a plunderer. He would rape women, he would kill women. He did not see it was a Hindu or a Muslim. So that's what they say. A very interesting story behind it. So as I said again, where I'm getting with this is basically what we talk in terms of Sufism. And I will come to Sufi. अब सूफी की बात करें, सूफी अकेले हैं जो गाना गाते हैं, ये सब करते हैं. पाकिस्तानी सूफीज को बहुत मानते हैं, but at the same time they're going towards Islamic law. This is the Sharia law does not agree with singing, dancing or whatever. The entire Kashmir is majority of the people are following Sufi, but they don't watch movies, which is against the Sufi tradition itself. So वहां पे भी कॉन्फ्लिक्शन चल रहा है. सूफी तो ये बोलते थे कि जितना आप ओपन हो सकते हो उतना ओपन हो, learn from it, be good. So that is a complete conviction. अब सोचो रिलीजन इतने सालों में चेंज हो गया. सूफी तो अभी थे 1600s में जाके कम हुए हैं, उनका कंप्लीट इन्होंने इरोड अवे कर दिया सूफीज को. बैक पोएम्स ऑफ अर्ली प्रेयर ट्रेडिशन एंड भक्ति. अगर हम बात करें हम दो टाइप की वर्शिप करते हैं, निर्गुण और सगुण. व्हाट इज निर्गुणा? विदाउट एनी शेप, विदाउट एनी फॉर्म. मूल मंत्र पढ़ी, मूल मंत्र स्टार्टिंग पोर्शन दसी. एक ओंकार. हाँ, okay, now these words nirpo, nirvair comes from Kabir. Nirpo means without any fear, nirvair means without any evil. Aage Akal Murat. Akal Murat is a word meaning undying. Ajuni se bhang. Now these are the words which come from Kabir. Kabir says that he used to worship God as somebody you cannot describe it. So when we talk about the Guru Granth Sahib also has taken three forms from different gurus. They've taken from Kabir, they've taken from Baba Farid, they've taken from Ravidas. So there's one form of worship where we don't consider God as any shape, form. The second form of worship is when we take God as any form or shape. Nirguna and Saguna. Nirguna means without attributes. Saguna means with attributes, a shape and a form. Brahmins, but it's important, Brahmins remain intermediaries between gods and devotees in several forms of bhakti. Is it clear? These traditions also accommodated, acknowledged women and lower caste categories considered ineligible for liberation within the orthodox Brahmical framework. एक चीज change हुई, Brahmins are still intermediaries, but women allowed है, Shudras allowed है, they can also be purified. Clear or not? Okay, what are two forms of worship we have? Sarva. The former includes tradition that focus on worship specific deities such as Shiva, Vishnu, and his avatars, and forms of the goddess of, like Vishnu के इतने अवतार, हाँ? कृष्ण जी is Vishnu's avatar, और राम, श्री विरूपाक्षका जो उधर बोलते हैं साउथ में, कर्नाटक में, नरसिंह, हाँ, जो भी है, there are different avatars of Vishnu. Now you might be praying to Vishnu, huh? How many avatars? Huh? So I'm just saying, South India, there is Shri Virupaksha, which is that temple where women were not allowed. Padma Swami. Sabrimala, which is the god. So as I said, there are different avatars of it. So Padma Swami is also Vishnu avatar. Yeah. So I mean, like, there are different avatars of it. There, God is one, but attributes are different ways. Somebody's calling God, somebody's calling God. But there is, this is what I say, there's goddesses, there's avatars. Your Shiva is generally called Shiva, but there are different ways of worshipping Shiva also. So now, in Tamil Nadu, there is this Bhakti movement that starts, but one says, how many have seen this movie also? Yaar, huh? Oh my God, me. कौन सी थी? South की movie थी. Huh? No, it was related to the Cholas. PS1, PS1 and PS2. Only available. PlayStation. Okay, it is PS1 and PS2. So in that, they are fighting about Vishnu and Shiva. So now in Bhakti movement, that because why I'm trying to correlate it is in that Bhakti movement has already started. So somebody says my God is bigger, somebody says my God is bigger. Vishnu avatars are known as what? There are two gods that we have. Vishnu is what we say alvars. The ones who pray to Vishnu are known as alvars. And one who pray to Shiva are known as nayanas. There are two sets of worship. ये question बहुत बार आ चुका है. Nirguna, Saguna, alvars and nayanas. Alvar is what? Vishnu. Nayanar is what? Shiva. So we call it in different ways. They traveled from place to place singing in the hymns in Tamil, praising for their gods. During the travels, the Albers and Nayanas identified certain places as adobes of God. Adobes jahan pe wo rahe. A large number of temples were constructed. So very interesting question came. Which of the following is not a Shiva temple? Let me give you an option. Gangai, Konda, Cholapuram, Chidambaram, Tanjavur, and Vrideshwara. Vrideshwara. So it's actually, I'm just going to show it to you. What happens is they gave this line as the thing. 3 Shiva temples have been constructed in Chidambaram, Tanjavur, and Gangai Konda, Cholapur. So they said which of the following is not a Shiva temple? Chidambaram, Tanjavur, and Gangai Konda, Cholapur. So now what happened is everybody started saying, my God is bigger, my God is bigger. They started coming up with these elaborate temples that were being made, which we called as, which were either for Shiva or Vishnu. There are two types of worships. We have Alvar and Nayanar. Alvar is Vishnu, Nayanar is Shiva. We also see now they're allowing different castes to come in. Like, say, for example, Alvars and Nayanars indicated a movement of protest against the caste system and the dominance of Brahmins, or at least attempted to reform the system. To some extent, it corroborated by the fact that Bhakts hail from diverse social backgrounds, ranging from Brahmins to artisans and cultivators, and even caste considered untouchable. यही टर्म हम पढ़ेंगे बुद्धिज्म और जैनिज्म में. बुद्धिज्म और जैनिज्म में सारे लोग आए, सबको एक बना दिया. क्या बना दिया? भिक्खुस एंड भिक्खुनीस. भिक्खुस आर monks, भिक्खुनीस आर द women monks. क्या बना दिया? भिक्खुस एंड भिक्खुनीस. The importance of the tradition of the Alvar and Nayan was something indicated by the claim that their composition were as important as Vedas. So Alvar की सबसे important book कौन सी है? नाला हीरा दिव्य प्रबंधम. नाला हीरा दिव्य प्रबंधम. Alvar's fame, which is considered equivalent to known as Tamil Veda. Nala Hira Divya Prabandham. What is the name of the book? Nala Hira Divya Prabandham. Whereas the Nayanars का जो 400 verses है वो किसमें दिए हुए हैं? तेवरम. उनके किसमें दिए हुए हैं? तेवरम. मैं वो भी लिख देता हूँ, मार्क करा देता हूँ. ये नेक्स्ट में ये कौन सी बुक है? तेवरम. नयनार्स का कहाँ पे है? तेवरम. इनके मेजर सेंट्स कौन से थे? याद करने का सिंपल तरीका, अपार सुंदरता होएगी तभी संबंध बनेंगे. कौन से 3 मेजर सेंट्स से स्टैचू है? अपार, समंदर, सुनंदर इन शिवा टेम्पल. इसे क्लियर? इसका किसने स्टैचू बनाया था? चोलास वन का कौन सा रूल था? प्रांत का वन. किसने बनाया था? प्रांत का वन. So now they started receiving patronage from Cholas. इससे पहले 2 किंगडम्स कौन से थे? Pallavas and Pandyas. Who were getting their patronage? किसको दे रहे थे? बुद्धिज्म. उसको चेंज करके अब कौन आ गए? चोलास. क्यों कर रहे थे चोलास? बिकॉज इनको सबसे ज्यादा कौन सपोर्ट कर रहे थे? वेलेलास पेजेंट. जहां पे जनता जाएगी वहां पे ही किंग चेंज हो जाएगा. इसे क्लियर हो ना? हाँ, देख, पहले पांडवास और पल्लवास थे, वो सपोर्ट करते थे बुद्धिस्ट और जैन. अब भक्ति मूवमेंट इतनी स्ट्रांग होनी स्टार्ट होगी कि सारे भक्ति की तरफ जाना स्टार्ट होगी. रिवाइवल ऑफ रिलीजन आ गया. अब ये भी हर कास्ट को अलाउ कर रहे हैं, हर वुमेन को अलाउ कर रहे हैं, तो मेजोरिटी लोग कहाँ पे शिफ्ट हो गए? वापस भक्ति मूवमेंट में शिफ्ट हो गए. ये रहेगा. क्लियर है सबको? और इनको किसने बनाया था? नालायरा दिव्या प्रबंधम किसकी बुक है? तमिल वेदा, which is of Nayanar. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बुक इसकी कौन सी है? तेवरम, which are 4,000 stories. इसमें 3 लोगों का स्टैचूज बनाया गया. कौन सा? अपार. Okay, what is how many fire rounds around the fire altar do you have in marriage? 2? Huh? You don't know? He said, when I get married, then I'll see to it. Mine is simple. I'll go to the court, sign up, forget. Okay, it's actually true. So in South India, like in Tamil Nadu, the fire altars they take is only 2. Their marriages are way too different because they use a lot of flowers. And the place where the marriage takes place is known as Kalyan Mandapa. You don't know this? You know this? Yes? थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है. हाँ, आंध्रा में और डिफरेंस आ जाता है. I'm just saying it, but majority would be in like you after the second round. Do you take blessing of the idol, the guru of local guru? लोकल गुरुज की लेते हैं ना. हाँ हाँ, तो वो अलग होता है. तो वही बता रहा हूँ कि हाँ क्या क्या किससे? मैं तो देखी हुई है शादी साउथ में, तभी बता. हाँ, क्यों गया? साउथ इंडियन मैरिज देखिए, तेरी भी करा देते हैं. Okay, they have very interesting traditions. So like say for example, they the husband is supposed to put a toe ring in the wife's foot. नीचे झुक जाता है husband, तो जो वाइफ होती है उसके उसमें टो रिंग पाता है पैरों में, तो फिर पैर हाथ लगाता है. हाँ हाँ, फुट रिंग, टो रिंग. क्या हुआ? कहाँ पे होता है? फेरे नहीं होते, हाँ. पर वो वही है. क्या हुआ? अरे बहुत डिफरेंट डिफरेंट है, मैं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ. आर्टिकल 44 इंडिया में लग ही नहीं सकता यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. हाँ, सिर्फ ये हो सकता है कि मैरिज का ट्रेडिशन सबका डिफरेंट है, तो वो उस पे क्या सिलबट्टा बोलते हैं ना उसे, जिस पे पैर रखते हैं और फिर उस पे टोरिंग बनाते हैं, देन दैट. हाँ हाँ, उस पे रखवाते हैं. देख ले, तेरे साथ भी यही कराएंगे. Okay, so that is what we have in terms of the religion, like in the sense very clearly. So the tradition is changing. So what we have, the following things. What are the things that we have? Alvar Nayanar. तेरे साथ तो पक्का ऐसे कराएंगे. Alvar किसका? वो तो वो बताएंगे. हाँ बता, रिजुल बता. इसको बता दे, कहीं वो लोकल गॉडेस इसके पीछे पड़ गई ना, फिर प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. देवी देवता. इसको देवी देवता की स्टोरी बता दे, अपने आप पीछे हो जाएगा. मेजोरिटी मेजोरिटी. क्या? अपर हिमाचल पर है, लोकल एरियाज के सारे देवी देवता से मेजोरिटी में है. सॉरी. ओके, सो बैक अगेन. अरे इसको कौन सा होता है, दशहरा कहाँ का होता है फेमस? कुल्लू. कुल्लू का लेके चले जाना. ओके, कुल्लू का दशहरा होता है. यू डोंट नो? I mean, like, it's very true. Okay, back again. So, which are the three places where the statue, where the temples were constructed for Shiva? Chidambaram, Tanjavur, and Ganaikona Cholapuram. I'll be continuing with this. Is it clear? So, we'll finish this Bhakti and Sufi chapter after this. Start with this.